Hi guys, I am going live. This is the first time I've ever done this, so we will see how it goes. I don't see anyone on, but that's okay. You will be able to watch it later too. So I'm gonna come on today to talk about some plans that I have for my future with this pandemic that we're in. I've definitely noticed a lot about how I am going to be moving forward, and I've been thinking a lot about it. That's basically all I have on my hands is time. So I'm here really to just dig in. I want to start off by saying that I already appreciate so many of you for following me and following my journey so far. Without you, I can't even begin to say what I would be doing without you. Hi everyone. Thanks for joining in. So really my biggest thing and what I want to be focusing on will be to be showing different sides of transgender and specifically and primarily my transgenderness. I know that as a transgender woman, a lot of us do struggle with self-image. It's like the biggest part of our journey. So what I want to do and what I want to be bringing to the table is a change with that. Being able to incorporate my love and passion for the beauty industry into becoming a woman and becoming who you want to be. So what I'll be doing is getting on weekly and sharing a little bit of my journey. I also have people in the works to help us as well with hair, makeup, fashion, and I really want to incorporate all of that into the talk of how to go about creating your new life. Things change when you become transgender and you just don't really know all those things. So for me, I have been a hairdresser for 12 years, maybe longer. And with that comes hair, makeup, skin, and then I'm really into fashion and body types. And becoming a transgender woman, I had to learn how to dress for myself and how to really become the woman that I know I am and who I am inside. But be able to show that on the outside. So what I want to do with my channel and what I want to do with my journey going forward is kind of incorporating how to feel best in your skin. So that obviously has a lot to do with hair, makeup, and fashion as well. So today what I'm going to do is just kind of talk about my journey as I just kind of finish my face. I already started off with doing my eyes. What I always do when I do my makeup is always brows first, and then from there I go into my eyes, and then I just kind of work my way into it. The reason why I like to start with my brows, it kind of shapes my face. It kind of shows me what I'm wanting, what kind of pattern I'm working with for the day, and then I go into my eyes. My eyes are done. I don't have to worry about any fallout from my makeup on my eyes, and just kind of go from there. So what I'll be doing, yes, I see someone saying skincare, taking care of your skin, shampoo extravaganza. Very true. Thank you so much for that. So what I started off with today, I washed my face. Normally for the morning, I wash my face with just water. I wash my face at night. I take showers at night before I go to bed. So today I washed my face with just water, and then I moisturized. I've been using a skincare line called True Skin. I found it at a esthetician's, and then I kind of found it online, and I've been able to work into there. So they have a whole bunch of different products. They have this one specifically is a vitamin C serum or vitamin C lotion. I do have their vitamin C serum that I use at night under my eyes and on my face, and they have eye cream as well. So I started off with this, and that was kind of where I went for the beginning, and then I went into my face routine, my eyes, and all of that. So I'm gonna finish off by just kind of doing my the rest of my face, and then we'll just kind of talk about where we go from there. I'll do my mascara at the end. Most of the time I don't do a lot of eyeliner. I like to play around with it a little bit, but it's not like my favorite thing. It just, I don't know, sometimes it feels like it's a little too heavy on my face. And what I want to be showing is that for a transgender woman, the point of makeup for us is to highlight our already existing beauty and kind of going into working with what you have, not trying to be something that you're not. So I'm really big about self-exploration, but also self-expression, and really honing those two together and becoming who you are. So what I want to do is just make sure that you know how to go about it, and that not every face shape is the same. So skincare and then facial structure is all going to be coming into play with how your face is going to look and how you're going to translate it into makeup. So let's see, I got someone that said here, do you put skincare on your eyes? Yes. I do use an under eye serum. Like I said before, I use the True Skin line for that. They have a lot of vitamins, vitamin B5, vitamin C. It's really good for under eye bags and then under eye circles. It really helps to making sure that your skin is being hydrated there. The reason why we have those dark circles is a lot of times lack of hydration, and then also the fact that the skin is a lot thinner there. So you do need to be hydrating it to make sure that it's staying moisturized, and then that will help in return with fewer bags. And then you need to get a lot of sleep. That's the biggest part, sleep. But then most of it is genetic. So there's a lot that you can do to help cope with it, but a lot of us already have it, and it's a genetic thing. So making sure you're getting enough water and sleep in your life, that's going to be the biggest, but then makeup will help as well, and skincare. So I prepped my eyes today for my eyeshadow. I prepped it with the Urban Decay primer. I use the Eden primer when I'm actually going to be doing my eye makeup. The reason why I like the Eden is because it does have a light base to it. So it kind of acts like a highlighter when I do get it up into my brow bone. So then I don't really have to work that hard to highlight it as later on, because it is a light, creamy color. So that's really great, and that's why I really like that. So then I went in with my eye makeup. I started off with one shade across the whole lid, and then darkened it around the outsides just for a little bit of a shadowed effect around the edges. And then I went in with like a coppery tone for under my eyes. And then I highlighted my brow bone with the Becca Champagne Pop. It's one of my favorite highlighters. I normally use that on top of most of my highlights, so you'll see that later. And I put that under my brow as well. So what I'm gonna be going in with now, I'm gonna start off, I normally start my skincare routine with sunblock. So always, what I found works the best for me is tinted sunblock. I have been getting laser treatment on my face because I am transgender. I do have facial hair, so working with that kind of led me into making sure that I'm taking better care of my skin. With laser treatment has come hyperpigmentation. What that is just darkening of the hair follicles. So you'll see here, I've never had an issue with dark facial hair. I'm very light. I barely have any hair on my body. But as this process has gone on, it's been darkening around my lip. So you'll see as I go along with this that I definitely will be paying more attention to making sure that this gets covered. But what I'll start off with is our moisturizer, but then also a tinted sunblock. So this is from Laser Away. They have a really good skincare line. I specifically like their tinted moisturizer because it is sunscreen as well. So it is SPF 50. So for the most part, when I put this on, I just do it with my fingers. So I'll start off on my cheeks and then kind of work in. What you'll see, what I do going forward, is I do more coverage from here down, obviously, because I am focusing on covering up any signs of hair follicles or darkening of the skin because of my hyperpigmentation. So I start off by putting this right under my eyes and then just moisturizing that in. It is really moisturizing. I really like a glowy skin. For me, I think it's good. I think as we age as well, we start to dull out. Our skin starts to dull a little bit, get a little less shiny. So making sure that we're really moisturized is good. If you are not putting on a sunscreen, or if your foundation is something that has SPF in it already, I like to make sure that I put this over a lotion. Any kind of makeup is going to do the best and give you that kind of dewy effect when it's over a lotion, because you're already hydrated and moisturized. So I put that all over here. You'll notice that I'm not gonna put as much up here when it comes into makeup later. I have pretty good skin when it comes to like from here up. And the majority of my skin is good, besides like random breakouts, mostly from shaving, and making sure that I'm put together. And since we are in this pandemic, I haven't had my laser treatment in a while. So I have noticed a lot of that coming back in. So, I do a little bit more as the time goes along. So from here, what I like to do is now go in and I am going to be using a concealer. I've tried concealers from almost every line, and I have ended up giving most of them away. It's hard to find something that works for you. It's all trial and error. So don't be afraid to really go in there and just try it all out. I know that money is a factor for it too, so it might take some time. But I am lucky that I've been in the beauty industry for so long, and I have a lot of friends who are in the makeup, so I've learned a lot from them, their mistakes and their loves, and kind of gone from there. So what I like to do here, I'm going to be using the Born to Glow Radiant from NYX. It's one that I found that I really like a lot. Again, it is glowy. If you are someone who likes more of like a matte, then they do have that as well. I have not tried it. Their matte I have not tried. I've tried others, and I have just found that for me doesn't work as well. So right under my nose, around my lip, under my eyes. And again, what's good about doing your eye makeup before going in, concealing, and doing the rest of your face is that you can kind of clean up any lines that you create from your eye makeup. I like to kind of go in detailed later on. So that's why I do what I'm doing now, and be able to kind of like construct it to be where I want it to be. So from here, I'm gonna go in with my blending brush. Okay, so I'm gonna use the blending brush and I'm just gonna blend this all out. So again, I don't want my channel to be a tutorial channel. It's not primarily about knowing how to do perfect makeup or how to feel like you are a fashionista who knows everything about the fashion industry. That's not what this is about, and that's not what I want my channel to be about. What I really want to focus the most on is making sure that you feel comfortable and confident in your skin, and not only your skin but the body that you're in. Looks like I lost everyone for a second. I think we're back. But so it's not so much about the tutorials as it is about making sure that you feel comfortable and confident. So I will be doing tutorials on stuff, but I also want to be able to talk to you about real things. So make sure that you comment below. Also send me messages asking me about certain topics that you want to focus on. What I will be the majority focusing on will be the beauty industry and kind of helping you to create the person and the outside exterior that you want. But that's not everything. So I will be bringing on people who can help you talk about careers and how to, dating stuff. I have a couple counselors that I've spoken to that are willing to talk to us about those things, and how to date as a transgender person, Things change a lot. We all know that it's not the same to date a straight person as it is to date a gay person, or vice versa. So we all kind of have to worry about how we're presenting ourselves that way. So things change a lot as you transition. So I want to make sure that we're talking about other things and not just doing makeup or not just doing hair tutorials. Okay, so I went in, blended out my concealer. I'm gonna add a little bit more around under my nose. Hi Nick, hi Savannah, hi Sky. What's sleep? Sleep is that thing that happens when you just stop caring and you let your mind wander. And normally it happens on a pillow, but some people sleep standing up, their eyes open. So again, went in right back on top of that hyperpigmentation. If you're just joining now, looks like I only got Nick on here, but we talked about the hyperpigmentation. Sleep is something I don't do. That's true. I do get 7 hours of sleep the majority of the time, but I do wake up quite regularly through the night and wake up pretty early too. So I went in, covered up those areas that I want to focus on, and then a little bit of my pimple. So now I'll go in with my foundation. So what I like to do with the foundation, so I'm gonna take a totally different blending brush. I go in with the Il Maquillage. I've found that this one is something that I really like. I found it online. It is a cruelty-free line, and it blends so nicely into my skin. And it does have a like flawless kind of shimmer to it. So it makes me feel really organic and natural. Like I'm not wearing a lot of makeup even if I am. So again, we talked about how I went in originally with the sunblock that has the SPF 50, and then whatever sunblock you're adding to it from there. What if you have any like CC cream or BB cream, you'll be able to kind of layer on your sunblock and kind of work from that to make sure that you're keeping your skin hydrated and then safe from the environment. So again, we talked about how my thing is not to worry and focus too much on the top of my face. That's not really where my problem areas are, and most trans women are not going to have their problem areas be on the top. If anything, it's going to be fine lines around their eyes or forehead, but the majority of what we'll be focusing on when we're doing makeup is going to be around our beard line, our necks. If you're anyone like me, I got neck beard from my genetics. So you want to make sure that you're blending this all into your neck and then also into your ears. There's nothing worse than having red ears and a white face. Okay, so any excess that I have, I'm gonna now take that onto my forehead and blend that all out. Okay, so now that this is on here, I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna set this. So what I use when I set, I actually use a loose powder from Bare Minerals. That of course I can't find. Oh, there it is. Okay, so I use a Bare Minerals powder. So I'm gonna go ahead and set that. So right under my eyes. Under my lip. And then I'm gonna start using this setting powder right under my cheekbone to kind of help contour out before I start going in and contouring. So the places that you're gonna wanna start to focus on at this point as we start to contour, we're we are looking for more of a rounded shaped face. Most masculine faces are gonna have stronger jaw lines and stronger angular lines. So what we wanna try and work on, just like doing any kind of feminizing work like drag queens do, or women who have stronger jaw lines, you wanna really round out your face. So I went and set under here and set here as well. And now I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna start with our contour. So I'm working on getting a new contour color, but right now I've really found that I love the Sephora line. This one is called Colorful from Sephora. It is actually an eyeshadow. It's funny because it's called Colorful, but it's brown. So I'm gonna go in there with an angular brush, okay? And I'm gonna start setting in my contour. I always like to start on the harder side. So I'm right-handed, so my easy side is my right side. My hard side is my left. So I'm gonna go in here right under my cheekbone. So you wanna feel where your cheekbone is. If you can put your finger where it is and push up, you should be able to see that line. Normally it's right in the middle of your ear. Everyone's is different. Okay, so starting that line right underneath, okay? I'm gonna do the same on this side. So I have that on both sides. And then from here, I'm gonna use the remainder of what's on the brush, and I'm just gonna start blending that out. I like to use rounded motions throughout, okay? Blending that up, and then blending a little bit through the bottom as well. Now, again, round shapes, right? We're looking for more of a rounded shape. So with that rounded shape is going to come bringing this into around the edges here. What you're trying to give is the illusion of a softer face. So just rounding out these edges here. So you'll see that I'll go in here, rounding this out, blending that up. And then also bringing that up into my hairline and right on my forehead. Normally not worrying too much here. So here and here are the areas that we're gonna worry about. Okay, so just going in there, really soft, round motions. Rounding that out, bringing that in, rounded C shape under the cheekbone. And now you can really start to see where I'm designing my cheeks, following the natural curve of my face. And then whatever's left over, I don't like to add contour to my brush, contour color to my brush from this point on. I use the remainder to kind of round out my chin. Because you already are gonna have product on here, especially if you're using the same brush for a few days before you wash, or I like to wash every other day, my brushes. I only really do my skin care when my face is fresh and clean, so I don't really worry about a lot of extra oils, so that's why I don't do daily. But a lot of people do, and if if you're someone that likes to touch up your face through the day and you're using the same brush, it's definitely good to do a good brush cleaning, or in between brush cleanings. I use a cleaner from e.l.f. that I don't have right here, but it is like a day-to-day spray, and then you can kind of wipe it off on a towel. So now I'm just making sure that all my lines are nice and smooth and blended. It's like I lost my music a while ago, but I don't want to get up. All right. So nice, smooth, blended. All right, so now from here, since I've done with my contour, I'm gonna go in with blush. So for blush, I've been using a really light natural. Hi, Amy. I've been using a really light natural looking color. This is NARS Thrill. Okay, so I'm more of like the pinky tones with my skin. So, hi, how are you, sweetie? So what I'm gonna go in and do, so now that you saw that I contoured, okay, so right on top of that contour, right where your cheekbone is where I wanna focus my my blush. So I want it to look really natural again, okay? So this is gonna, from this point on, it's gonna be upward motions with everything, okay? So before I was coming from here down with my contour, now I'm gonna be starting from the low point of my cheek, or like right where you smile and you can see the balls of your cheeks there, okay? So starting there and working my way up. So a lot of times when I teach blush, I like to say you can kind of dab right on the cheek, almost think of like a clown, a round clown shape, and then from there smooth that line up and out. When people get blushed and they're flushed and they have a blush going on naturally, it's normally here, okay, and then across their face as well. So you'll see that kind of happen as I go along with this. So smile and then up. Right on top of that contour, right at the top part of the contour. So now you're gonna have blush, contour, and then we'll have the highlight that'll go on there as well. So now what I'm doing is, other than my eye makeup today, this is kind of a more everyday kind of technique. I'm not trying to get super glitzy glammed up. Let's face it, I don't really have any place to go. I'm gonna get my car washed today, but they don't need me to look like a Victoria's Secret model. Hi, Josh. So going in, blending that up, again, like I said, upward motions for that and downward motions for your contour. So now whatever's left on my brush, I'm gonna take that and I'm just gonna sweep it across the top bridge of my nose and then kind of blend that in there. So what I'm looking for is just like a natural kind of glowy look. I'll take that and bring it around the top as well. Perfect. So I don't normally contour my nose. I have a pretty like rounded, I do have a sharper nose on the sides, but looking straight on, it's pretty round. And I like the shape of my nose, so I don't normally contour it unless I am trying to get glitzy glammed up and I want to look a little different than normal. So my contour, my blush is done. From this point, I'm just gonna go in with a little bit of highlight. Again, I'm gonna use the Becca highlighter and a small feathered brush. Okay, so this is gonna go right on top of where the blush was. So now it's gonna be highlight, blush, contour. Okay, starting from normally right from underneath the part where your eye ends, okay, is where I like to focus this and bring it, sweeping it up. Upward motions. Oh yeah. So I'll take this, blend that in, and then just use my finger to make sure it's all natural looking. I like to look dewy and glowy. I don't really like to look like I have a whole bunch of highlighter on. Everyone's different, so you can kind of take that as it goes. Okay, and then up. All right, and then I'll take a little bit more and then use my finger to blend that up. Now I'm just gonna make sure that my highlight under my eyebrow is looking the way I still want it to. Same highlight color for my eyebrow as I used for my cheeks as well. All right. So now I'm just gonna make sure that everything's nice and set. Sometimes you can see it starts to, the makeup does start to kind of push off a little bit, just depending on how hot it is, what's going on. And then also your skin type, if you're oily. So I'm just gonna make sure that this is nice and set there. I lost a little connection. I'm gonna work on better internet speed soon. Make sure this doesn't happen anymore. But this is just a test run to make sure that this is something I want to continue to do and see what the response looks like. Yeah, Amy, I like highlighting a lot too. I like it more because I like a dewy face, and I like to look really natural. But you say you like to do it because you have a baby face. So yeah, I mean, everyone's gonna be different. They're all gonna have a different reason why they do things. So since I went back over what I did on my cheeks, so I'm just gonna make sure that I still have that kind of pink flush across my cheek. Across my nose and from my cheeks. Hi, Sonia. Wow, it's been a long time, sweetie. All right, so for the most part, I'm done there. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna just put on some mascara and then I'll do my lips, and that's basically my day-to-day. Other than the fact that I've been talking a lot, it doesn't take me very long to do my face. I like a really simplistic routine. I don't want to have to focus a ton of energy on it. I mean, who does, unless it's just like you're 100% passion. It's not something that I always want to worry about or have to work on. So I want it to be a fast and easy thing to do. So I'm gonna go in with mascara. I love the L'Oreal Voluminous mascara. Their Hydrofuse. That one's really amazing. It is waterproof. I get really watery eyes, especially during this time period because I have really bad allergies. So having a mascara that is waterproof really does help a lot. So I'm gonna work on this. Now, what's interesting to me is that a lot of people ask me like how I put on my mascara, because it seems to be something that not everyone feels comfortable doing. And when I watch girls putting it on, I feel like they spend a lot of time struggling with it. So I'm just going to talk to you about how I do it. When I put my mascara on, especially because I do have makeup on my eyes, I'm going to always have my face as far up as possible. So the reason why I'm going to have my face as far up as possible is so that my eyelashes are further down on my face, so I will get less transfer, hopefully no transfer, onto my eye makeup. Okay, so I'm going to start with my hard eye first, which is my left eye. When it comes to doing anything, always do the hard one first. Don't do it last. If you do the hard one first, your easy side, you'll be able to mimic. Even if it's something you didn't really like or enjoy, you'll be able to mimic a lot easier because your easy side is something you can do. It's easy. So my eye is completely down. And what I'm doing when I'm doing this is completely down. I'm grabbing the lash right at the base, okay? So it's almost transferring onto my eyelid, but underneath. And I'm pulling that up in a kind of jiggly, wiggly fashion, okay? Now, what's really important about this is, again, you want to make sure that you're going at the base first. There's nothing worse than having, especially for us blondies, having blonde eyelashes that you can see the base, the root is blonde, and then your ends are black or whatever color you chose. Hi, Samantha. Hi, Danesh. So making sure that you're starting right at the base, okay, of your eyelash, right at the root, and wiggling that up into. So you want to make sure that you're getting all of that transferred on. And I like to do top on both sides first and then go back, do bottom on both sides. If you want to do a second coat, you definitely can. Okay, so starting at the base, wiggling that forward, head up as far back as you possibly can, less transfer. If you do get any kind of transfer onto your eyelid, which does happen, or under your eye, it's gonna happen, girls, or anyone that's wearing makeup, it's gonna happen. Don't worry about it until it's dry. Okay, so you wanna make sure that it's completely dry before you go back to try and touch it, because it's gonna smudge everywhere. And especially a mascara like this one that I'm using right here from L'Oreal, this is waterproof. So you want the least amount of smudge as possible because it's harder to get off. So if you do get transfer, just make sure that you have a little Q-tip available. Have whatever eye makeup color that you use for your shadow. And work from there. So head back as far as possible. That's gonna make sure that you get less transfer. And then just kind of smooth that out. Now, depending on what I'm doing and how I want my mascara to look, if I want it to look really natural, I'll just do one coat, wait for it to dry, and then I take a clean spoolie. If anyone doesn't know what a spoolie is just, it looks like a mascara wand. It's just like a clean one that you can use. A lot of makeup artists have it so that they can use different ones instead of the one that comes with the tube for sanitary purposes. But I will take that and I'll brush back through and break up any clumps that happen, because a lot of times I want my mascara to look really natural. Okay, but today I'm kind of going for more glammy, so I'm just going to do one coat, but I am going to leave it a little on the PC side. All right, so my mascara is done on the top, and then from here I'm just going to go on the bottom. If you notice, I normally just do one in, one eye, one in, one eye, one in, bottom eye, one in, bottom eye. I don't like to keep going back in, back in, back in. A lot of times if you get a little too much on your brush, you'll get those clumps a lot easier. So you want to make sure that you avoid that. Again, I'm looking for more of like a glammy look, so I'm okay with the pieciness. You want to make sure that you start right at the base. You don't want those blonde roots and dark ends. That's not cute. Just like you need to get your eyelashes touched up. Okay, and again, I'm looking for that kind of PC look. Hi, Jordan. You didn't know this was live? Did you think I was just talking to myself? So again, just one in per side. Starting at the base. You know, I make that kind of weird face like a lot of us do when we're doing this. I feel like it pulls my cheeks down. That's probably the biggest reason why I do it. Hi, sweetie. Hi, Lindy. Good to see you. Or hear from you. And I want, again, the least amount of transfer. From this point on, I'm have my head tilted down. So from my upper eyelashes, I have them up. From my lower lashes, I have them down. Gives me more control of where I'm placing it. Okay, again, if you do get any transfer, which I have a teeny little bit, you want to make sure that you wait to touch it until it is dry. You don't want to be going in there and touching it and letting it smudge up your whole face and ruining what you've just worked so hard on. So I like to finish up what I have going on, and then go back through with a Q-tip and clean it up. Okay, so for right now, looks like I'm pretty good. I want to make sure that I just re-highlight a little bit under my eye. So I'm going to go back in with the Becca, which I did for my cheeks, for my brow bone, and then I'm just gonna go back in these corners and just give myself a little bit more glammy shine. I'm all about that dewy finish, so you'll see even my setting spray is a dewy setting spray. I decided, I don't know, maybe about 6 months ago, to stop caring about the fact that my skin gets oily through the day, and kind of work with it. I do use setting powder to make sure that, you know, things are set in place, and where I want them to be a little less dewy are not as. But then everything else, I let just kind of go. So just blending that line in there, you can see. Using my finger to just make sure everything gets blended. Excuse my fingertips, everyone. It's the middle of this quarantine. Hopefully the end of the quarantine, and I have not been able to get my nails done. And again, that's something else that I'm going to be talking about. Again, I don't want this to all be about tutorials about makeup or tutorials about all hair. I want this to be about real shit. Excuse my language. I want it to be about things that we all need to work on. And when trans women especially start transitioning, most of them don't have the knowledge that I had when I started from being in the beauty industry on being able to do your own hair and makeup. So that's why I want to do what I'm doing. Really just to be there to empower you to feel comfortable enough to be able to be the woman you want to be, from a real person who's had to have trial and error even for herself, working through what I've already been through. Even though I already had a lot of experience, I taught nails, I taught skin, I taught hair, and I know how to do them pretty well. I'm by no means a makeup expert. I am a hair expert, but so you'll see kind of as it goes along, that I want this to be about real stuff. So we'll be going into working on our nails, working on our like shaving techniques, things like that is kind of where I really want to help you to be able to focus your energy so that you feel confident as you go out. Okay, so at this point here, did my eyes. I'm gonna go in and do my setting. So I'm using the NYX Dewy Finish. Okay, so this again is a dewy. Look, I've used Urban Decay, I've used so many different setting sprays, and for the most part, they all kind of work the same. But what I have found, and what I like about NYX specifically, one, they kind of cater to a younger audience, which is something that I found is good when it comes to making sure that we're on the same page. I don't want to look like a 35-year-old woman, even though I'm getting close to it. I still want to feel young and youthful and fresh, and they're really all about that. On top of the fact that they have a lot of sustainable products, and they have a really good image when it comes to everything. Thank you for my nose comment. All right, so I did the setting. So now I'm just gonna go in with a really nice, just easy nude lip. I'm gonna use one of my favorites is from Maybelline. And it is called Driver. Actually, yeah, I'm going to go in with Amazonian. So Amazonian is kind of like a browner base color, so I'm going to go in here. We do have a little bit of makeup on our lip if you have like done anything that I've done. So what I'm going to go in is just kind of remove that right off the top of my lip. And be careful not to go around the edges too hard or remove anything that's there. But again, it's just makeup. You can go back in if you need to and do any kind of touch-ups if you take off too much. Okay, so I'm using Amazonian from Maybelline Color Stay. It is one of my favorite makeups or lipsticks within makeup. It stays all day. When I'm doing hair all day, I don't want to be working and thinking about my lipstick all day, and this literally stays so long. I eat quickly, I drink quickly, I'm constantly talking and smacking my lips and licking my lips, and it does not come off. But it's so easy to take off with makeup remover. So it's like the best of both worlds. So I have like I have like 12 of their colors. Basically every color that I can possibly have that looks good on me, I have. And ones that maybe aren't the best on me, but I still like them. Okay, so I'm gonna go in. I like to start off by doing the bottom of my lip. And from there, after I design the bottom, I'll smack my lips together, and then any transfer up on the top is less work for me. What I've learned about this line is that it does get dry and cakey with over replenishment of the color. So I like to do as few passes as possible, meaning I don't want to have a lot of product on my brush. Okay, so very little. Normally when I go in, and I'll do like my whole lip with just one of the, like one dip. So from here, I went in there, did my whole bottom lip, and then any transfer up on the top, I'm basically done on the top. Now I'm just gonna line the top, work with my Cupid's bow. This is still a little bit too much for me, so I'm just kind of taking this off. By the time I'm done, I normally, again, only use one pass through for my lips. Now, unlike what we did with the mascara, if you overdraw or if you don't like a line that you've created on your lip, make sure that you go in immediately and start to kind of clean up that line. The longer it dries, this is different, so the longer that this dries, the harder it is to get off without having to like start over. So just drawing my Cupid's bow. I'm bringing this down. Now I don't overdraw my lips very much anymore. I got a little work done, guys. Don't tell my mom. And so now I don't really need to do it as much. And there's nothing wrong with overdrawing your lips, but when you do, make sure that you are making sure that there's a connection between your actual line that you're creating and your actual lip. So when you overdraw the lines, you can overdraw on the top, but make sure that when you come back down, you're going back and connecting onto your actual lip line. That's gonna make it so much easier for you to make it look natural. There we go. So my lips are done. My lips are done now. So now I'm just gonna go and clean up my under my eyes with any extra mascara. It's hot, guys. I'm thirsty. Okay, so I try not to use makeup remover when I'm cleaning up under my eyes. I've noticed when I do that, it takes off way too much makeup. So what you can do is, yes, Lindy said what she likes to do is use a lip liner to draw the line and then go back in. With this color that I've used with Maybelline, I've noticed that, sorry, I lost you for a second. I haven't really been able to find a liner that works the best for me with this line. I feel like they kind of cake together a little too much for me, or work against me. So, so she said, go in there and use your liner, and then go back over to make sure that you get the lines. But again, no matter how you do it, if you use your lipstick to line out your lips, or if you use a liner to line the lip, make sure that you're doing some sort of connecting point from where you've decided to draw your overline to then connecting to your actual lip line. It's gonna make it look so much more natural that way. So again, I don't like to use a makeup remover for cleaning up under my eyes for any extra fallout. I just use good old-fashioned saliva. Okay, just a little bit. I don't like it to be too wet. And just kind of go back through and make sure that you get any of the extra. I don't have any on the top. I got lucky today, guys. But on this side, I definitely have a little bit of fallout. So just making sure, clean up those lines. And then you can also use a Q-tip, to help kind of brush out any clumps that happen and get anything off of your water line. Transfer of mascara to your water line. And then again, if you're looking for a more natural effect for your mascara, I recommend going in and going to Sally's or even like Target. They normally do sell spoolies. It's just a clean mascara wand. And I like to just comb through, get rid of any extra clumps that happened. But again, I'm kind of looking for more of a spidery effect. I like that. Cool. All right. So other than being really friggin' hot, guys, not sexually, I mean physically, I feel like I'm good. So just making sure that everything's all nice and cleaned up, and then I'm gonna do one more set, and then we're good. Hi, operator. Have I ever pronounced your names wrong? Please tell me, correct me. So one more spritz with that, and we're good. So again, I don't really want, Linda, nice to meet you, Linda. So I don't really want this channel and my channel to be about tutorials. I want it to be about becoming an individual. So for me, that means doing hair, makeup, and fashion, and kind of incorporating that into who you are as a human and who you want to become. Because we already are those beautiful people, the same people that we were born. We're those people too. We're just now transitioning. So what you want to do and what I work the hardest for me is just making sure that those two are compatible and they're working together hand in hand. So you'll see from me that I will sometimes already have my full face on, and I will do eyebrow tutorial, and then we'll talk about something else that a topic that we discuss. So go ahead and feel free to message me. Let me know topics that you would like to talk about, and things that we can work on. Again, a lot of it's gonna be skin tone, for makeup, skin tone for clothing and color choices. The same goes for being able to do your hair and knowing what colors are gonna work the best for your hair and your skin type. So I want this to be a really well-rounded channel, and I want to make sure that this is something that can be inclusive to everyone, and not just transgender, but it is something that I am very passionate about, is just making sure that we feel comfortable in our skin. And knowing who we are really does help us to do that, and feeling good in what we look like and who we're presenting to the world really does help. So again, I want to thank you guys so much for joining me. I love you all, and thanks for all of the follows and all the love that you've shown me. So you'll see more from me, and we'll go from there. Make sure you message me, DM me, and we can talk about any topics that you would like to talk about further. Okay? Thank you so much for all the love. Bye.